Mhm.
Yeah, what about I try a little music? It might be
Music, that's
fun.
nice.
A little background music,
Little
just
change.
something
My
subtle.
hat, like my hat. It's
Oh,
Florida.
it's
It's
very
Florida.
cute.
It's a hot now, so
So I
there
want to
can
make
be
sure that
lots of hat days now.
I remind you that we
Mm.
are really looking forward to having people join us on social media during live versions of the broadcast.
Mm.
And if you go over to our Facebook under the Liberty Tree page, like and subscribe there, but most importantly, on Rumble or Gab TV,
Yeah.
because we are seeing clear evidence that we are being majorly shadow
Yeah.
banned on
Mm.
Facebook
Yeah.
and on YouTube. So while we will continue to publish there and broadcast live from there from time to time, it's most important that you like and
Yep.
subscribe and do
Th-
all the button pushing you're
yeah.
supposed to do.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, today, because, depending on when you're watching this, so yesterday, Silicon Valley Bank went kablooey.
No,
Now,
that was 2 days ago.
wait,
Yeah,
today's Saturday?
well,
Didn't that just happen
no,
yesterday?
it's technically Sunday.
Oh, that's true. Because we're recording. We're really anyway.
And there
Recently,
goes the illusion.
okay. Woo. So recently, I think they can tell I'm wearing the same thing in the previous. Anyway, okay. So very recently, Silicon Valley Bank went kablooey. Not that I even ever heard of
Right,
Silicon Valley
right.
Bank, but because I'm no economist, but what I think we need to talk about is this is what sensible people have been predicting and portending and saying
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
spend billions and trillions of dollars and give away billions of
It's
dollars
been yeah.
without it and raise the interest rates
It's been such a mess.
without it
It really
affecting the
has.
economy.
Yeah.
And the reason I want to do this is because it makes me, I don't know about you, but I get that feeling in the pit of my stomach because what we went through after 2008 with the housing bubble,
Yeah,
like a lot of people,
that was
and
pretty rough.
I just see a bubble coming back. And
Yeah, I've written a little bit about this on my social media page.
yeah.
We went through a really difficult time in the middle of and through the end of 2008, and then pretty much all the way through till 2015, late 2015, early 2016 when we moved here. We went through a very, very difficult time, just extraordinary
Like a lot of people, like a lot of people
Right? Yeah,
experience.
yeah. No,
But it
and
wasn't in the news back then.
no, it was all hidden.
Because it was Obama, so
Yeah, yeah, it
there
was all
was
hidden.
no talk about hard
And so
economic hardships.
and so when we see this
Felt
sort of,
very lonely. Felt
right,
very lonely back then.
yeah, when we see this sort of stuff going on, it's very familiar to us. And the article that you sent me was this one from the Cat. It says if you just lost millions in the Silicon Valley Bank, don't worry. They really push climate change, equity, and the woke agenda. You finally got to put your money where your mouth is. A small price to pay to save the planet and coddle woke children. And I think it's.
Because
I mean, that's the thing I don't like about that. I mean, that's true, but the thing I don't like about that is I don't think we win when we say coddle woke children because there are children.
well, but Cat Turd was specifically talking about Silicon Valley Bank was really driving the DEI stuff.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
making sure that they were one of the leading banks in DEI and, in all of that. And because there were a few articles that I read yesterday
Yeah.
on how woke they were.
Right.
And you have to say were now.
Well, and this
because-
is right, and this is what they call ESG
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
EGS or
Yeah, ESG, environmental, social
governance. Yeah, whatever that means.
It just means Heil Hitler. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so it's, I understand why, and that's why I chose that tweet from Catcherd because SVB made it their goal, according to the articles that I read yesterday, was that they were making it their goal. We are going to be one of the leaders in
Right.
DEI and ESG, and we're going to, be, and they're gone. Like in 40 hours,
Yeah.
they were gone.
Yeah.
And so who were the monitors? Who are the safety people watching guys, we're going downhill, we're tanking. Like, why was there no, I mean, these poor people, I saw videos of people lining up outside. People woke up Friday morning getting notifications that their bank accounts were frozen, or like assets were frozen, or something, whatever it was.
Right.
And so they started lining up at the bank like, what's going on? Well, and then the other banks, what was it, 3 or 4 other banks collectively lost $50 billion yesterday, in addition to SVB going under.
And remember when they made such a big stink about Elon Musk?
Yeah.
And he wasted $44 billion on Twitter. At least he owns Twitter.
And this episode is not at all about the ins and outs of economics. That's not what it is. So
No.
You're not going to get like a grandiose,
Right.
exposition on economics, but because we just want to do a personal take on it. So do you want to play the
Sure.
DEI?
Sure. Is this
Because the government is on this, guys.
This is the White House?
The
talking
government
about
is
the White
on
House?
this. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that really makes me
Scared.
That's the thing that really
I know,
makes me
yeah.
worry. So who is this? Jean-Pierre?
And our new
It is the 19th largest bank in the U.S. It went down in about 40 hours. What do you say to Americans who
She's walking away. She's like, I'm not taking that question. You take
Let the
it.
DEI chief take it. Yeah.
have real concerns today about their hard-earned savings and money?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why we have the FDIC and other safeguards in place in our banking system. And what I would say to them is that our Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary Yellen, the bank regulators, those who provide the guardrails and are safeguarding, are closely watching and are prepared to use the tools that they need.
Wait, what? It's over. It already happened. What does that even
don't
mean?
worry.
What does that even mean? They're prepared to use the tools that they need.
The guardrails are
The
there.
train's
They're-
already wrecked. What they did with the train, is that their plan? The East Palestine or Palestine
But
or
they
whatever
are
it is
on
train?
it. They're
just gonna
yeah.
burn it all?
They are on it. Those guardrails, they are
My
working.
word.
They're
Oh
working,
my
folks.
Goodness.
And I can understand why people are, like we have long-term food storage, right? But we live in Florida, so it's wise here to have food store. Like you have to have
Because of hurricanes.
You have to have hurricane plans. But I'm really starting to feel jealous of those preppers. I really am, because
Yeah,
I think
looks
they
like
were.
they had
I think they were
the jump
smart.
on us.
But the thing is that we just wanted to give a personal message, because I do think that people who are saying this is just the beginning
Yeah,
are
it is.
right, and it is going to get hard. I don't think the housing bubble has reached its peak yet, before it explodes like it did in 2008. And we went through that. We lost everything except our leased car. I mean, we did have a vehicle, and then we went down to one vehicle that didn't even fit all of us. And if we all had to go somewhere, you had to drive, we had to take 2 trips and pick everybody up. It was,
Well, and we also couldn't afford gas.
we counted the miles on our car, right? So that we could know where we could go during the week. The thing is that we don't share that out of, oh, woe is, it wasn't
no.
fun.
No, God was good.
Because we
he
joke
brought
all
us
the time.
back.
Like we have invented the most potato recipes I think anybody could ever invent, because we ate a lot of potatoes. But the thing was that we really, as in our kids, where that was, 10 years ago. Right. I mean, it wasn't just 1 year. So it was,
Right.
it was
No, it went on
generally,
for a
it
long
was,
time.
and
It went on from 2008 until
Yeah.
we moved here.
And we made a decision back then because we actually had a lot of friends telling us, you guys have 6 kids, you should be on food stamps and the government's there for your help. And not to, we've never forced people to say, oh, that's wrong, you shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
But for us, we made a
Yeah,
decision
that's what we felt we
because
needed
we
to
had
do.
6 kids and we really wanted to show them, when things get tight, you don't run to the government, you run to God.
Right.
Like, that's who our provider is.
Right.
And we made a decision that we would not do that, no matter how hard it got. And it got hard
Yeah,
at
it did get
times.
hard.
It got hard. But God always provided. He always provided.
Yeah.
Even when it was potatoes and broccoli, but that's the point, is that sometimes God provides just what you need, not what you want, but just what you need,
Right.
because he knows what you need.
Yeah. Also, I think one of the things that is important for me out of that time is that I've come to realize just how valuable that kind of bad experience can be
Yeah.
for our children, how much good it can do.
Yeah.
I was meeting with some folks this past week, and they have a son, and they've spent $180,000 on education. And that's tough.
$180,000.
That's how much debt they have from that. And that's just one child. And we were talking
Wow.
in this conversation, we were talking about how hard it is for that child to appreciate the value of a dollar. One of the things that came out of our difficulty is that almost every one of our kids, actually, if I think about it, with the exception of Nick, they've all expressed how that time period actually helped them to learn.
Even Lindsay, and she was young. She was little.
Help them to learn to be grateful for what they have. So the what's going to happen is going to happen. Like, there's not anything we can do about that. But what we can do,
And it might feel like the end of the world is coming. It might.
yeah, I mean,
And a lot of people are going to feel like that.
yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I think to a certain extent.
And a lot of people who have no more money left in the bank out in Silicon
And look,
Valley.
if it happens again to us, it's gonna be horrible. Like,
Yeah.
if
I don't want to go through
the
that
economy
again.
goes through another long bad period, and we just kind of have to tough it out, then we do. But the important thing is how we deal with it, what we show to our kids.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a house where we didn't have a lot of money. We never did, and I did not know that. I did not realize that until I went off to college and started hanging out with people who weren't in our socioeconomic status, and then I realized, oh wow, my parents, they didn't have any money, but they never made any big deal
Yeah.
about it. I'll never forget when I was a kid, we would go on vacation and we would pack up the car and we would go to a field and we would set up our tent, and my dad would bring up my granddad's old camp stove, little propane tank and 2 burners, and you open it up and you fold the sides out, and they'd cook food, and we'd open canned goods and have a meal out in the woods. And my dad would go into the tent right before dinner,
Yeah.
and he would emerge from the tent 20 minutes later wearing a suit, patent leather shoes,
Yeah.
and black suit, because that's what he wore all the time. White shirt, black tie, black suit. And he would go and he would get in the family car and he would drive away for a while. And then he'd come back about 8:30, 9 o'clock. He'd go back into the tent. He'd get changed. And then we'd have a campfire and he'd tell stories and stuff. And that's because my dad was preaching a revival. And a farmer who was at that church let us live in his field. And that's what my parents made vacation. And those were precious times to me. I just thought everybody's dad went into the tent while they were on vacation and put on a suit and went and preached a revival. I just thought that was normal because my parents were so careful to communicate to us that whatever God gives us, that's what we have.
Yeah.
And that family, that the time we spend together and the things that we do, that's what's important, not how much money you have, how many things you can buy.
Yeah.
And so, it could get really bad. It might not. I don't know. Nobody knows. certainly it's prudent to be careful, but I think it's also important just the attitude we take into it, because it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's bad. Tucker Carlson did a show on it the other night, and this is I actually want to show you this because
Okay, I didn't
I
see
just
this.
think, well, because I think the face is the perfect thing, and I don't know why there are two pictures of us there. Now that picture, I have no idea, but
Okay.
I think I'm supposed to. Here's what it is. Initiate share screen. That's what I have to do.
Okay.
Sorry, learning. Appreciate your patience as we figure this out. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you because I think, I think this is like the face that I'm not going to play it, but this is the face, right? And we all feel like we knew this was coming.
Yeah.
We knew this was
Told
coming.
you.
And it's a good video, and we'll link to it in the chat section. But
Yeah.
it's just so important that we don't have that as our face, that we don't make that our attitude, but that rather that we have a pleasant spirit, that we I want to say this carefully, but that we hide the truth.
Like the Brits, keep calm and carry on.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say, right? Keep that stiff upper lip. Communicate good, because we get to set the tone.
Yeah.
We get to set the tone for our family, and not just our kids. We get to set the tone for our parents, for everyone we meet. And if we just are possessed by a dour tone, that's not going to make things better.
Yeah.
It's not going to help us get through.
And the key to that is finding gratefulness in everything, even in the troubles. And that was really how we got through, was just surrendering our will to God.
And selling our couches
But just being grateful.
and your wedding dress.
Yeah,
and
I sold my
ring and-
wedding rings. Yeah, I sold my wedding rings for groceries, and it, they're just
do what you
rings.
have
They
to
were
do.
just rings. You do what you have to do, and you learn to. You choose to.
Yeah.
You choose to find gratefulness for what you have.
Yeah, if you found this conversation comforting or encouraging, please share it. We really do. We really would appreciate it. And especially, we really need people to go over and subscribe and like on Rumble,
Yeah,
because that
thank
is
you.
going to become our platform. We are continuing to see censorship on YouTube and Facebook. They are not getting the circulation that the Gab and the Rumble channels are. We're putting the same program out on all of them,
Yeah.
and we're following all the same rules. And we're clearly being shadow banned, and we just want to be an encouragement to you. So
Thank you.
We'll see you next time under the Liberty Tree.